It's a school night, John. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, we're making a fusion dish. Not really. We're making almost a sequel to one of the earliest PGC episodes, which is how to spice up your ramen and how to cook wieners in a pan. We're gonna do both of those things tonight in How to Spice Up Your Ramen 2. First step, make a drink. I'm gonna have a Diet Pepsi.
With?
Bourbon! Not just Pepsi. You want a Pepsi? Pepsi, you've changed. Courtney's here, Arthur's here, Iggy's here. They're all over there. Big Pepsi. Okay, so we're gonna make not a ramen soup, but a ramen stir fry with a hot dog. And we're gonna serve that with a soup of miso soup. And we're gonna have some side dishes to round it out, and it'll be nice. And my son's choking on a Cheerio. Okay, anyways, let's get busy. So I'm gonna get my miso soup going, and we're not gonna do anything crazy with that. I got some mushrooms. These are brown beach mushrooms, and I figured we could dual purpose these by putting some in the soup and some in the noodles. So that one's going on the back burner. Slice off the bottom. And you do gotta be a little careful when you chop off the bottom, because once you do that, well, your mushrooms will go everywhere. So, because I want some in the soup, I'm just gonna kind of trim the bottom a little bit. Some of these, kind of like that. And then save the rest over here. And that can go right in the soup. Right in the soup. I'm also gonna use some green onion. I'm just gonna use the green part. And you'll want to mince those up as well as you can, but you don't need to sweat it really. And in addition, we'll add some tofu. I'm not gonna add it immediately, because if you simmer the tofu, it'll kind of fall apart. This is just firm tofu. But I am gonna go ahead and mince it up, just so we can have it ready to go when we need it. And again, we will not think about it too hard. We'll just cube it up. And if you don't perfectly cube it, it's rustic style. Rustic style.
Is this rustic style?
A little bit. A little bit. Okay. In addition, we'll go ahead and add some Hondashi. You can use actual dashi stock if you want. Hondashi is good for us. All right. So we got that going. And like letting the mushrooms and onions and stuff in there will bring out some good flavor. So we're using my favorite ramen, Shin Ramen. Pretty sure that's what we used in every other ramen episode, using instant ramen. We're gonna make a lot today. We're gonna probably have leftover ramen. Oh boy, what a treat. Okay, let's prep stuff for our stir fry. I got some garlic. I grew this garlic, and I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger. Not like a crazy amount, but I thought it'd be nice to have a little bit in there. You can peel ginger. You can also not peel ginger. What a concept. That'll really make a big difference. So these are some aromatics. Mincing up crappily, but happily. All right, and then we're gonna add some cabbage. I got Napa cabbage. So we're gonna saute some of our vegetables and then set them aside. So I got some veggie oil here, and we can add a dab of sesame oil just for flavor. So I'm just gonna do one of these. If we wanted to use this whole thing today, we could chop some bigger pieces, put it in the water. But I think that's exactly what we'll do. I was kind of waffling a little bit, but I think we'll do that. So some slightly bigger pieces. Then we'll have a depth of cabbage. And part of why I want to do that is I have never regretted the amount of cabbage I've put in something. But I have definitely regretted not putting enough cabbage in it. We're just gonna overestimate the cabbage today. My green onions, and I'm going to rough chop some of those. I'm gonna use all of them today. So it's veggie time. I'm gonna start with my mushrooms, and I'm basically just gonna throw in all the veggies. My garlic and ginger, my big pieces of green onion. I saved a bunch of the green tops over here. We'll use that as a garnish. We'll get this saute going. Mincing up another clove of garlic, because we're gonna use that for a side dish. And I'll talk a little bit about that now. So I was at Saraga, which is a international grocery store, and I like to go and get things that I don't really know what they are or what you use them for, and then figure it out. So I got some salted seaweed. And there it is. And salted seaweed is exactly what it sounds like, which is this heavily, heavily salted seaweed. And it looks like this. That's what it looks like out of the package. And you can see the huge flecks of salt and MSG. But the way that this is most commonly eaten is kind of like as a banchan or like a little appetizer, where you soak the seaweed in water and you change the water over and over. And then it's sauteed with like a little garlic and maybe a little seasoning. And I've had it soaking for about an hour. I've changed the water a bunch of times. And it has finally leached most of the salt out. I do not know how this is significantly different from any other kind of seaweed, or why they salt it and then you take the salt out of it. Maybe the texture is different, but it still tastes like seaweed to me, so I don't know. But I like seaweed a lot, so I'm looking forward to eating it. Okay, so I'm gonna do that last, but I just wanted to talk about that and show you what it looks like. Usually when I'm sauteing veggies like this, I'll just add like a little bit of soy sauce. So while that's cooking, let's continue to prep. My favorite hot dogs are Boar's Head uncured frankfurters, beef frankfurters. They come in a 7-pack, and they're really, really good. They got the snap and the casing. They're a little expensive, but Kroger gets me with the flash sales when I do the delivery. I got these for half price. And for your entertainment, they're like actually like they got the links together. So in the normal course of a dinner, you know, you might portion one hot dog per person in this context, but we're gonna add an extra hot dog because I believe we'll have leftovers. And then we're gonna cut them in kind of fun ways, I'd say. So we can do the squid thing. That's a popular thing to do. You cut them in half, and then they got like the little legs. But I think it is easier to eat if you just cut them into pieces. And there's our hot dogs. Pretty happy with how the veggies look, so I'm gonna take them out. You know, you cook these to your liking. Remember, things still cook even if you take them out of the pan. And so we want like a little bit of texture going on here. So maybe don't overcook those. And we'll get those hot dogs going. Hot dogs. Shit. No problem. So we're gonna cook these until there's some brown, and our cabbage water is boiling. So we'll go ahead and get that going as well. It would have made more sense for me to not put the noodles in one by one, but it's fine.
Okay.
I'm doing 1 pack per person with the expectation that that's too many. It's too many noodles, there'll be leftovers. A pack of noodles is technically 2 servings. Like a lot of people will eat the whole thing. But we're gonna be bulking this so much that it's probably gonna be hard for each person to eat a whole pack, unless they're like super hungry. So I think we could get by with 2 packs for 3 people, but we're gonna make sure everyone's totally full today.
Is it spicy?
It's a little spicy, it's not that spicy. It's only spicy if you are afraid of flavor. Those hot dogs browning up, go ahead and work on some garnishes. So the green onions from earlier. And I have really pretty cayenne peppers that we grew, there they are. And that will only go on the noodles that the people want. So I'm gonna actually like set them to the side most likely. Slicing my chilies up. Go ahead and pop our tofu. Look at those tasty hot dogs. So you can see how fun it gets. You know, they spring up like a little octopus. And I'm setting these aside for plating. Okay, make sure my noodles don't get overcooked. We do want the noodles to be a little chewy in this context. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off, and I will strain them. It's okay to leave a little bit of liquid. All right, so a little bit of liquid is just fine because that will give us something for the seasoning. I'm just gonna use all the packets. I'll give it a great big mix eventually. Go ahead and pop my veggies in. So I said it's a stir fry, it's not. To stir fry it, we would be like stir frying the noodles too, but you'll see how it comes together eventually. And I'm gonna do the seaweed. We're gonna try to get all the water out we can. I don't know why I didn't just grab this strainer. I just can't think.
How does it feel?
Oh, this is, if you've got texture issues, this is not for you. This is very unpleasant to squeeze. I don't mind it, but I imagine some people would mind it. Okay, our pan is hot. A little more oil. I think this is just gonna sizzle like crazy because it's gonna be wet. It's gonna be wet. Go ahead and pop in our garlic too. And we're gonna add a splash of sake. Tastes good. And I think that's it. We're only gonna saute it for like a minute or 2, because otherwise it will get gummy and slimy, which is not what you want. Get my miso soup. And it is not ideal at all to use a whisk like I am, but that's what we're using today, because it'll like break up some of the other parts of it. It's fine. Trying to go fast today. All right. There's our side O seaweed. And the last thing we'll do is cook just a couple of eggs for the noodles. Actually, we need to finish the seaweed with some sesame seeds. I have never done this on this scale, like for multiple people. This is kind of like a goofy meal that I make for myself sometimes. Not with like all the sides, but the hot dog and eggs on ramen. So I'm learning as I go, and I'm learning that I probably have tried to do too many things at once, timing wise, but that's okay. So other things we'll be having today, we're gonna have some pickled daikon. And again, I also would serve this banchan style if I had the bowls for it, but I do not. And I got some kimchi. So these are all sides, accompaniments. Soup is done. Let's see what's going on with our noodles. I'm also gonna add some sprouts to the ramen. I like some crunch. And we'll give this a little taste to make sure that we're on track. You can see, like, I put like almost a whole head of cabbage in there. And it doesn't even look like there's cabbage in there. It's crazy. That's what we're working with. It's really good. Good spice level. Salt for the eggs. So now we're nearing the finish. And I'll kind of show you how to round this out into a meal. So let me show you. Let me show you how it's done. You definitely can eat this in a bowl if you would like. It might be less messy that way. And we will dress some green onions. And this is my plate, so I'm getting lots of chilies. This is also our probably our photo. So I grabbed the octopus hot dog for the aesthetics. And I think an egg is almost ready. And here is what we are having for dinner. We went all over the place, but I think together it's a pretty nice, robust meal. Okay, I want to try the seaweed first. Seaweed first. Now I acknowledge I'm a Philistine, but it literally tastes like just about every other seaweed I've had. I don't know. Other than like texturally, it's like a little bit softer. It's very tasty, but it just tastes like seaweed to me. So yum, good. And then our ramen, I like to break the egg. Woo! The chili's hot. Super good. It's basically like super fast, lo mein style stir fry. Hot dog somehow goes really well with it, but the addition of the vegetables makes it feel much more like a wholesome meal. You know, even though it's not. So that's our dinner today. It'll be fun to share this with the family. That's how you do it. If you like what we're doing, that's good. There are no further actions required at this time. I hope you have a good day. We'll see you next time with PGC. Bye-bye.